Hey guys, welcome back to another video this week. Again, sorry for a little bit later than normal. I've had a busy week since my job. Okay, this video is going to be another just sit down and talk about like things going on. It's not going to be huge, but it's going to address maybe like the things that I've wanted to do in the sense of like for the last few years, all I've wanted to do is radio. I've always wanted to do, in a sense, try to entertain people, or at least try to make people laugh. Now I get the fact that I am nowhere near there yet, you know? The fact that like I'm still doing YouTube every week, I still love. The fact that I get to now work at a radio station is fun. The fact that I get to volunteer to be a presenter at another station is amazing. I get to practice and hone in my craft. But I suppose one of the things I sort of didn't think on was the idea of expanding what I wanted to do. In the sense of like the whole reason why I got to like do, actually, you know what? Let's start from the beginning, because this could be a weird video, so let's start from the beginning. The first thing I wanted to do was be a podcaster. That was the whole main thing, was because my first job said, oh hey, you have a good voice, maybe you should do podcasts for us. And I loved that. It was the sense of like, I didn't have to write anything, I didn't have to do boring work that everyone else had to do. I just got to do podcasts. I got to do like broadcast journalism. I do that because it was, I got to do my kind of journalism where I just got to say things. I got to interview people. I got to make my own news, and then I got to say them on a microphone and edit them myself on editing software. And I loved that. I loved that whole ordeal. I loved that whole experience. But then when that ended, I sort of thought, maybe I should try and get into that. Maybe I should try and make that a full-time thing. Which was a few years ago, and I realised how stupidly difficult that was, because a lot of podcasts do things themselves, and I didn't have the money or the idea or the experience of how to do any of that. So I broadened my search to maybe a more professional career in the sense of radio. Because radio, in a sense, is a big industry. There's thousands of radio stations out there. I thought, this is good. Maybe I can get a small part in that. And that led to other things. So I would start like looking for classes, which I did. I did 2 years. Well, I did two levels of radio skills with Greenwich Royal University, which I loved. I got to meet lovely people. I got to learn so much. I got to basically make my own podcast, make my own radio shows, which I loved. And then, I would try to do other things, which again didn't work as much. But then again, and this year alone, like, a lot's happened, as you know. I went on the Prince's Trust. I did another, where 1 week I worked with people and got to present a show in front of the former head of Radio 1, which was amazing. I got to do another radio course, which lasted like 10 weeks, where I expanded my knowledge on like trying to hone in my craft a bit more. And now, I even started YouTube. I started to think, maybe I should be more comfortable in front of a camera. Maybe I should be more comfortable in front of just, talking to myself and see what happens, because I do that every day, not like a crazy person. And now, I'm not going to say it's paid off, but like, I think finally this year I'm a little bit more honed into that area, in the sense of like, now I have a starting level at a radio station where I get to know the ins and outs of things. I get to talk every day to random members of the public and just gain my confidence and keep that going up and up and up. I get to actually I now volunteer at a radio station where for 2 hours every week I get to practice making a show and doing music and trying to make content. It's including this. I get to try now, keep up my work of trying to do YouTube and try and like give you somewhat weekly vlogs about my life and what's happened. But one interesting thing that I think has happened in the sense of like, the people I work with sort of gave me a suggestion to be like, hey, you have a good voice. Have you ever thought doing voice work? And I was like, what? I mean, like, I never thought of it like that, and it's one of those things where I thought to myself, wait, that actually is a good kind of work, because, like, I get a lot of it's hard. I mean, dear God, like, the voice actors, who do things just on a freelance basis, props to you. I mean, like, you guys have your own booths in your own houses. You've spent years honing in your voices and your craft. There's actually one point where, on my first radio show a couple of weeks ago, I basically didn't plan anything, in the sense that I had no idea what to do or talk about, so I just started making funny voices and started doing stupid characters, and I thought that was really fun. But the people who work with me sort of said that, like, okay, yeah, because you have nice posh voice, and I know it's posh, I don't mind. Maybe you should like do those kind of things. Maybe you should try and do ads and like try and see if you can get work in that sort of area. Because like I proved to myself a little bit, like when I did a crossover for my job, which to you, a crossover is basically when I did I said a script, I said an ad, which then went out on the radio describing my job in promotions, which was great. I got to hear myself on the radio, which was lovely. But I thought, when she suggested that, and then I saw like 1 or 2 ads from places I looked saying, "Oh hey, do you want to do voiceover classes?" I was like, man, I know I always limited myself to just radio, because I always thought, well, that's what I like to do. It's always fun. I get to do what I want. I get to have the work I love, and I get to be in an environment which I think is amazing. I'm not going to complain. I mean, the job I do now is amazing, and I hope to grow further in that field. I love to continue in radio, but then I thought, I always thought to myself to be single-minded in a lot of few things, especially in the line of my work, which granted has not helped me a lot in the sense of I was always aware that I had that you can't just solely focus on one bit, but my dream was always solely on radio and podcasting, like trying to get my voice on radio, trying to be a part of a show, being part of anything else. Like I've always said that like working in radio, I'll do anything as long as I get to say I work in radio. And now I do get to say I work in radio. I work at a radio station. I get paid to work at a radio station. It's nice. But I suppose this week has sort of taught me that, like, because of those kind of suggestions that people at my work said, to be like, oh hey, maybe you should like do voiceover work, to be like, maybe it's time I actually expand that a bit more. Like, I shouldn't just focus on radio itself. I should just try and focus on maybe trying to do some freelance work with some of my voice. Maybe I should try and practice, having to use my voice more, because I love the fact that it's the ultimate irony for me. How when I was a little kid, and I mean a really small, like under 5 years old, I didn't speak. It was a big problem for my parents to be like, oh my god, he won't speak. Is he nervous? Is he socially anxious? Which I was a little bit, and I still a little bit am. And how like for years I didn't talk to people, or like I was too shy and too nervous to like be the center stage. And now, and now I want to make a career out of speaking, in front of trying to talk, in front of trying to say my opinions, say what is on my mind. Maybe that's just because, last 15 to 20 years I've kept it all bottled in, and now I want to do this all the way now. But yeah, I suppose that's what this video is to me, in the sense of like it's a little thing where just to say that my goal was one thing, and I've spent a lot of time focusing on that one thing. And now that I've actually got a foot in the door of that thing, maybe it's time I expand that even further. Maybe it's time I actually look at further options I thought I never even bothered to consider because I didn't think I was good enough. But even then, like, she said to me, like, hey, you got to start somewhere, and you already got something. You're already comfortable with your own voice on the radio. Why don't you try doing it? Why don't you try practicing a little bit and trying to get a few classes and maybe try and get some work out of it? So I thought, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe, because this year has been okay. The whole year-end review will be probably around the end of December, as it should be. But, maybe next year will be a lot in terms of maybe trying to become a voice actor. God, that's gonna be such a weird thing. Anyway, guys, that is basically the video. I just wanted to like talk to you and just blare out everything that happened. I'm not gonna give you the full details of everything because I never do. Next week, maybe I'll try and make the video more interesting. Yeah, because last week was more interesting in the sense like I got to show you additional clips of me on radio. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe down below. Click the button if you want to see more stuff. I'd love to like expand YouTube as well, as I always wanted to this whole year. And I will see you next week with a brand new video. Take care, guys. Bye.